We're back for another Q&A. So I'm going to be answering all of the questions you've asked me through Instagram. And if you gave me your Instagram handle, I'm going to go ahead and give you a shout out in the comments down below too. The first question is, how do you balance the time and effort you put in professional targets versus the time invested into your personal wellness? It's actually a really good question. I really don't like the word balance, to be honest with you. And I find that a lot of entrepreneurs also don't like the word balance. And I'll tell you why. When I think of the word balance, I imagine a ball on the ground with a wooden board above it. And I imagine someone trying to balance like this, because that is what balance feels like. It's almost never stable or steady. So I don't strive for balance in that way. I strive for harmony. I like harmony better because sometimes you're gonna have more time for your personal life and less for business, and sometimes that's gonna switch. The key to harmony is that it's ebbs and flows and it's constantly moving. It's not this pressure to be perfect or be perfectly balanced. The way I do that is I've learned that I will burn out if I don't take care of my personal wellness first. This is my absolute priority. This is the standard, and this is something I don't bend on. And so whenever I'm making my schedule, whenever I'm making my goals, I make it a priority to say, what are my sleeping hours? And nothing gets to interfere with those. From there, I'm thinking, what time do I need to be eating? I have pretty severe ADHD. I will forget to eat if I'm too focused. So I make sure that time is scheduled in. How much downtime do I need to just think freely and not have to be a human doing? I add that into my calendar. Where am I going to be exercising? What routine is that going to look like? That goes into my calendar. Only after all of those things are scheduled do I even begin to think about what my work life and my work schedule is going to be. So when it comes to harmony, I think better than asking yourself what balance looks like, decide what your standards are for your personal health. Decide what your wellness standards are for you. Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way that you can't pour from an empty cup. I remember in 2019, I went on my first vacation in 5 years. I landed in San Francisco late at night, and the next morning I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital because my body was having an abreaction to all the stress I had. My full digestive system stopped. I couldn't even hold water. My whole body wouldn't really function for about 10 days that I was in bed. And the thing is, I don't even remember having symptoms of stress before that because I was so focused, I didn't even know my body was stressed. I made a commitment to never let that happen again. So my challenge to you asking this question is, how can you reframe balance to what is the standard for your life? The next question was, what is your favorite time management strategy that cultivates flow and works for creative entrepreneurs? Ooh. So if you haven't taken my time management workshop, you really need to do this because I give you all of the secrets in that workshop. Favorite time management strategy. So what I found is that creatives struggle to be productive because they have to wait for creative inspiration. And my challenge to those that are feeling like, how do I stay creative and be productive, is create a container for that creativity. You're gonna have a very hard time being creative if your calendar is stacked full of things that you need to do. Creativity needs to flow. And sometimes that means it needs a start as well. So if you're a creative and you're looking to be more productive, on your calendar, schedule big blocks of time and just leave it for creativity. And if you're not feeling creative right in the moment, that's okay. Start with something ugly, start with something messy, just put anything out there into the form that you're creating. If you're creating art, if you're creating video, if you're writing, just create something, even if it's messy. Once that flow starts, you're gonna find your creative flow begins to follow. And a lot of creatives will share that their most successful ideas have come from the days they didn't feel creative at all. Why? Because they had the discipline of creating that container to hold their creativity. And overscheduling is something I'm probably gonna be talking a lot about on this channel. Creatives have a tendency to feel behind and to feel like they really I need more productivity. I need to do more things. I need to do more things. If that's you, your creativity needs you to be still. It needs you to be inspired. And so make sure you're prioritizing, scheduling the things that keep you inspired. Next question. Ooh, how has your reconnection to faith boosted your business? This is a really powerful question. So I've been in and out of church for like 7 years. And I always kept it very separate from my business. I'm just being candid here. This channel, I'm gonna be very transparent and honest, okay? So I kept my business separate from faith. There's what I do, there's my relationships, there's my house, there's all these areas of my life. And then faith was just one part of that. And what I began to learn is that it can't just be one part of your life, it's all consuming. And I knew I wanted to go further in my faith journey, which meant I wanted to get baptized. And the one thing holding me back is I wasn't being congruent. I said I wanted to surrender, and I would surrender the parts I was comfortable surrendering in my life. But there was one thing I had a really hard time surrendering, and that was my business. See, I worked really, really hard to build my business. I started working at the age of 15. I read more books than any single person I know and continue to read at that pace. I've invested over probably $200,000 into my own education in the last 7 years now on my own. And so I had a lot of pride attached to my business because of how much work I had to put into my business. And how could I just surrender that if it meant I didn't have control over it? And see, what I had to learn was that I never had the control. And yes, it's amazing I made the investments. And yes, it's amazing I was dedicated and committed and I did the work. And it was God who allowed that success to flow and who brought my clients to me. And without him, I wouldn't have any of that. And if I can trust him to do that, while with me feeling like I'm doing most of the work, I wonder how much more powerful of an entrepreneur and a coach I will be when I decide to partner with God. That was one of the most powerful decisions I've ever made. How did it impact my business? It turned my business upside down, I'll be honest. It was scary. It was like a new partner coming into the business. It's not about what I want or now. Now it's about what does God want for my life? Like, what is my true calling? Like, is this the direction I'm meant to be going in? Everything I knew about goal setting was turned on its head as well. Because now it's not about what do I want to buy, where do I want to go? Now it's about, okay, how can I be a really good steward of this business that I built to maximize the impact on other people? And what that turned into was less one-on-one clients, group coaching programs opening up, a lot more content going out to help people who need it but maybe can't afford it. And I would say it humbled me and it made me so much more powerful of a business owner. And of course, with that, the revenue shot up as well. So I'm super grateful for that. If that's something you're currently working through, I highly, highly recommend leaning into what that surrender looks like for you in your business. What is your next big move? If you've been following me a while, you know I never give you my next big move. Here's what I will share with you. YouTube's a very big move that I've been wanting to make for a while. So I'm here for you. I'm here to build community. I'm here to answer your questions. My heart is breaking for what I'm seeing in the world today. People have more than they've ever had, especially in America. More things, more people, more followers, more money, more distractions. And with all of that, they're less healthy than we've ever been. We have less time than we've ever had. Relationships are failing at a rate we've never seen before. And people just aren't fulfilled. I see people turning to more distractions, to things that just numb them. And it's soul sucking. I see even business owners who left corporate to start their own business, and they feel like they're just in a soul sucking job that they've created for themselves. And I wonder why that is. And I see how mindset affects this. This is my mission for Elite Mind, is to really teach and empower people how to program their own mind. Because the reality is you're being programmed every day of your life. You've been programmed since you could learn to speak. And programming doesn't have to mean some big scary word. It's just the suggestibility of your subconscious mind. See, I see people reading books on how to make better decisions, how to have a new strategy for the business. What are my next 5 moves? But when you're asking those kinds of questions, you're only working with about 0.4% of your mind. 5% maximum of your whole mind is going to those decisions. If you really want to make a difference, if you really want to make some powerful moves, you're going to want to tap into the subconscious mind, because over 95% of the decisions you make every day are coming straight from your subconscious. And if you're operating with 5% of your brain maximum, you're going to have a really hard time getting the success you want to have. So my next big move is to go big with Elite Mind. I recognize I can't handle all of the clients that are coming my way, and there's some changes coming to the company. I'm inviting in some support coaches who I've known for years, who I deeply trust, who I've experienced the coaching with them, inviting them into my programs so that I can multiply myself and give you guys the results you really want without needing me to be in the middle. I'm developing courses to walk you through what elite self-awareness looks like so you can be the CEO of your mind and so you don't waste tens of thousands of dollars like I did trying to have a positive mindset. So I'm here to 100x the brand. That's my next big move. Why NLP and not business or marketing or sales or any other coaching? This is great. So most of your marketing probably has NLP baked in, and any excellent proven sales techniques are also coming from NLP. So I think this question is coming from maybe a lack of clarity on what NLP is. NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming. This is understanding the structure of your mind, which can be mapped out using your language patterns. When I hear your language patterns over just a conversation with you, I'll begin to map out your subconscious mind. From having that awareness, I can use different language patterns to rewire and reshape them in a way that's benefiting you. How is this available in marketing? Well, if you're using NLP in marketing, you're improving your communication skills. Now you're speaking and you're writing and you're typing in a language that your ideal client understands best. So you want to bake that in. Otherwise, you have miscommunication. And you'll know you have miscommunication when your marketing and messaging isn't attracting your ideal client. If you're attracting people who can't afford your services, if you're attracting people who just want all the free things and have no intention of purchasing from you, if you're getting a lot of that feedback from your audience, then you probably want to bake in NLP to your marketing. And for sales, if you struggle, let me ask you this. It's going to depend with sales. If you're struggling with a structure to your sales calls, which you should have, whether that's a script or a framework, if you're struggling to know what your closes are, a sales coach can be great for that. Hopefully they know NLP as well. Now, if you're struggling to sell yourself, your own services, and you're connecting that to your worth, if you're feeling incredibly uncomfortable at the beginning of every sales call, if you're riddled with doubt and fear and why me and imposter syndrome, a sales coach most oftentimes will not be able to work with you on that because those feelings are coming from your subconscious, which only an NLP practitioner can work with you on that. So I would say go for NLP. And, a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners and professionals, they know exactly what they need to do to become successful. That's not the gap. And usually if they're going to be successful anyways, they already know how to find the answers to the parts they don't know. So what's really holding people back is their subconscious. And the reason is it's the blind spots. Blind spot by nature, you can't see it. All those blind spots are happening in your subconscious mind. So if you're not aware of what your blind spots are and that's what's holding you back, having more marketing or more sales or more techniques and skills is not going to substitute you removing and eliminating that block from yourself. So that's where NLP comes from. It's not adding on to your skills, although it can be. It's a lot of elimination work that allows you to become the best version of yourself. The next question is, who are you when clients are done, the computer is shut, and the phone is out of battery? This is a great question. I'll say who I am on vacation because right now in this season, I'm really focused on working. And so when I'm not working, I'm doing the restorative time needed to keep up the work. What I think a lot of people don't realize about coaching and having a coaching business is I'm running the business and I'm the coach, which means when I have a client fly in for 2 days, I'm not here on Instagram responding to your messages. When I respond to your message, you could be sure that message is coming directly from me, which comes at the price of sometimes needing to wait a few days till you get a response. What I love is the people who are super intentional about wanting to work with me. They find their way to the links to book a call to get on my calendar. So when I'm not working, I'm relaxing, totally relaxing. Whether that's going for a walk on the beach, going paddleboarding outside. I love to book flights out of here. I have a running joke with my friends here in Miami. They say, "What do you do for fun?" And I say I fly out, like I leave. I leave the city because I love to travel. And I hope to do a lot more of that next year. And I read a lot. I'm in 5 different book clubs right now. and I'm reading a few others on the side that I'm getting through. So I'm just in a season of reading and enjoying and nurturing myself, because coaching's hard work, and a lot of times it can be easy to take on the stories that your clients share with you. So that's how I find my balance. All right, this is gonna be the last question for this video. What is the bad habit? I'm assuming that was bad habit. What is the bad habit or personal obstacle that you have to stay mindful of to stay growing? Overworking easily. Delegation is always an art, and there's levels to the game. Every level you need to learn a new art of delegating. So right now I'm actually in the process of reorganizing my entire team, adding new members onto the team so that those response times can go down. And so that it doesn't need to be me responding to DMs, and it doesn't need to be me that is doing the coaching, so long as I'm the one that is curating the strategy to get the results. So I'm working on becoming more of just a strategist for the coaching techniques rather than just the main coach. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have a question that did not get answered, I'll be sure to get back to that next time, and I will see you in the next video.